Okay, so we're going to have a look at this particular question. The average monthly temperatures recorded over a year in the U.S. cities of Santa Fe, New Mexico, and St. Paul, Minnesota, are given below. All temperatures are in Fahrenheit. And what you have to do is represent the data in a back-to-back stem and leaf diagram. Then we're going to describe the temperatures in two cities, and then we're going to compare the temperatures, okay? And this is important because on, what day is today? Is Tuesday, we said? On Thursday, you are going to have a criterion C test. Okay, and which is criterion C is? Communication. But I'm only going to look at strand 3. Okay, which is move between different forms of mathematical representation. What do I mean by that, do you think? Move between different forms of mathematical representation. What do you think mathematical representation means? Not how you work stuff out, but yeah, how it's kind of shown. So, for example, this is a question that we have to move between different forms of mathematical representation because we're starting off with a table and we have to put it into a stem and leaf diagram. Okay, so we're moving between different forms of mathematical representation. And on Thursday, you will have to do something like that. Okay. It'll be very similar to this type of question. So let's have a go at this. We need to represent this in a stem and leaf diagram. Now remember, a back-to-back one is going to have two parts to it, isn't it? So it's going to have numbers on either side. So we're going to have numbers going out this way, and we're going to have numbers going this way as well, okay? Now these need to be in order, okay? So a good idea is to take, say, Santa Fe and write those in order, okay? So your first one would be 43, okay? And then do them in order, then 44. Okay, so let's do that first, and then we can do St. Paul over here. Your first one would be 26, and then 29. Okay, so let's get them in order first. Okay, so this is my data in order for both Santa Fe and St. Paul. And then I'm going to set out my stem and leaf, my back-to-back one, as follows. Santa Fe on the left, St. Paul on the right. And I've got my 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 because that corresponds with the I guess the tens number. And then we can go 26 for St. Paul, and 29, and so on. And then the first one for Santa Fe is 43, so I go down to 4, and 3, and that gives me 43. So you complete that. All right, who wants to give me the rest of St. Paul? Go on, Brighton.
31.
Yep.
42.
Yep.
43.
Yep.
58.
Yes.
59.
Good.
71.
Yep.
73. 80. 82. 85.
Good. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
And then what did you put for the key, Ryan? Or if you haven't, what would you put? Go on, Brighton.
I did 3, and then like
The line.
line 4 and 43. And the Santa Fe.
Oh no, for the St. Paul.
Oh, you want to do? Oh,
Yes,
so there's going to be a key for each.
Well, just the St. Paul for now. Oh yeah, you have to do one for both.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you have to do a key for both. So the St. Paul, what could we put? 3 and 1, which is equal to 31. Right, good. What about Santa Fe? Who's going to do this one for me? Go on, Ryan. You got 43.
43.
Yep.
44.
Yep.
48.
Good.
52.
Yep.
65. Or sorry, 50. Yeah, no, 65.
Yep.
67.
You left off. You left off 56.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
77 or 4, isn't it?
74, yep.
78.
Yep.
83.
Good.
83. 86.
Good. And then we need a key for this. So the key for Santa Fe, I think Brighton, you said if you had a 4.
3 or 3, 4. Line 4,
43. Okay, so 4, line 3 is 43. Is actually, have I done that right? Yeah, I haven't done that quite right. It should be the other way around, shouldn't it? Because it needs to look like what we have. Okay, because this is what it looks like. We've got the 3, line 4, that represents 43, okay? Good, now we have to, is everybody okay with that? So we've taken our information and we have put it into a back-to-back stem and leaf. Okay, so we've changed the form of its mathematical representation. Now we have to describe the temperatures in the 2 cities. All right, so so for part B, we have to describe the temperatures in the 2 cities. Well, what can we say about them? Is there a modal value for any of them? Is there a mode for Santa Fe or for St. Paul?
Is that middle one? No, that's not middle.
No, it's the most often. Is the mode?
83.
Mm-hmm. So that which one's that for? Okay, so we could say the mode for Santa Fe is 83. What about the mode for St. Paul? There isn't one, is there? Because they're all the same number. So there's no mode for St. Paul. Okay, and then for the last part, we have to compare each city. So, how could we compare Santa Fe and St. Paul?
That 80.
Yeah.
A lot of 80.
Yeah, there's a lot of 80s.
And a lot of 40s.
Yep. Which city do you think has got a higher kind of average temperature? Which one's going to be higher temperature, Ryan?
Santa Fe.
Yeah, Santa Fe. So a good thing you could say is Santa Fe has a higher temperature. So you want to comment on the temperature. You also want to comment on how spread out it is as well. So which one is most spread out?
St. Paul.
Yeah, St. Paul's got the most spread out data. So I can say St. Paul has more varied temperature because their temperature goes all the way from 26 all the way up to 85. Okay, so there's more variation in the temperature for St. Paul. You just need to say something like that. Easy enough.